Hey, back again, and now let's focus on clearing 2018 or reviewing it and celebrating it. Denise Barnes of Soul Savvy here, and we're doing a short video series on finishing, putting to bed 2018 and getting aligned on all the different levels of creating for the year to come. All right, so let's get the review out of the way. And again, this can be quick and dirty, this can be days long, it's up to you. So here's a couple of guidelines for how to review the year. You probably do a lot of these already. So add anything or do anything that appeals to you now, or complete anything that you haven't done that sounds good among this list of options. So A, reviewing 2018. Here's a couple of ideas on ways to do that. So you'll need some paper and pen, or if you type, you'll need your laptop. So, but the idea is to review the year. You also need your calendar. So go through each month, and again, you may have done this already. One way to organize this and kind of get the accomplishments of last year out in the open, make a list of all your accomplishments for the year. I've seen people say 25 things you accomplished, and you go, what? Because that seems like so many, but once you do it, you realize, hey, there were at least that many things and maybe more. So that's a possibility for the review stage. List 25 accomplishments. Another way to look at it is to do a series of categories, life categories that are important to you. So work, personal, community, love, creativity, and then put accomplishments under those categories. Learning could be one of those categories. So take a moment, pause the video, and just jam on that. So 25 accomplishments, and or making the categories and just listing all of the accomplishments in those areas as you look through your calendar. So you can pause this and I'll be back. Okay, great. So now another step would be to look at your list of accomplishments and check out what values are represented by these great things you've done. So for example, I did this training in a new trauma technique, and that was aligned with my value of constant learning and finding the best tools to give to my clients. And it also opened up a whole new area of how to think of transformation. Now, some of this I didn't exactly bargain for, but that's life, right? So naming the values, particularly for the big things, maybe there are 5 or 10 really big things of the year. What are those key values? So take a moment and write those out, or kind of jam with your mind and heart around those, naming those values that are so key to you. Oh yeah, pause and I'll be back, or I'll be still here. Okay, so number 3 area to look at is just, this may have come up already, but if not, make a list of the challenges of the year. And again, some of these will have a relationship with your values. Usually they're maybe an affront to a value, or they may hit a point of your identity, your ego, that is important to you. And I'll give you a very personal and vulnerable example, which was last year in some training work I do. We had a very bad experience as a team with one site, And as a result of that, my work got evaluated, and I had to go through and do it and be evaluated, which we know is never fun. So that was a tough and challenging experience. Now, the value of it is being in integrity for me. And, if there's something I need to do or improve, I always want to know about that. But it does hit against a lot of identity and ego and nerves and all that. In the end, I did fine on the evaluation, but it also led me to kind of reevaluate from my end doing those trainings and if they really work for me. So that would be an example of a big challenge that I'll remember 2018 for. So now take a moment to list the challenges of the year for you, and I'll be back. I'll be here when you come back. Okay. All right, now you have done a lot of work gathering the raw data for 2018. That took a lot. And again, you can do this quickly or it can take some time. So no problem if you want to kind of muse over this or mull over this overnight or for a few days and come back to it. Now I'm going to name a couple of questions from a form I've devised, which helps me keep a good perspective on events. Now, for example, if I do a big event, I'll use this form to help myself keep a balanced perspective on how it went. Because usually, if you have a strong critic or if you're feeling like it didn't go as well as it could have, the highlights will be what went wrong. So in this case, these questions help me look at the big picture, look at the overall. So I'm going to read these questions to you, write them down, give a little space under each of them, and then you can come back when you're done with these. So first question, and thinking of 2018, what went well? So just write that down and put some space under there for you to answer, or enter that in your computer. Next question, what could be worked on? i.e., what didn't go so well? What were the growth edges? Number 3, I'll give you a minute to finish that one. What else did I learn? And what else did I learn? You'll notice these questions are kind of asking the same thing, but maybe a little differently. But it helps to look at it from different angles. Number 4, what do I want to acknowledge? What do I want to acknowledge? And final one, how will I celebrate? No matter what, how will I celebrate that what I did this year, the pros, the cons, the blessings, the curses, how will I celebrate that I got through this and that there was a lot of learning? So do this and I'll be back. I'll be here when you get back. All right, so the final step here for 2018 completion is to come up with 3 words that describe the year to you. If you were to think back on this in a kind of code or acronym or a brief statement, and again, if you go 4 or 6 words, it's fine, but thinking like 3 words, how would you describe 2018? So I will leave you to that. Pause the video if you need to. All right, so that's the 2018 review, and good for you for doing that. It's huge to be able to sit with our learning and let that process settle and then see what rises for us to contemplate and rework and also sort of leap from here. This is our jumping off point into what's next. And when we're fully informed and kind of caught up, it makes for a much better evolution into what's next. Thanks so much, and we'll have one more video, which is setting up for the new year.